This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kaplan and Crew. Once again, just the crew, because nobody takes more days off than the name of the show, Scott Kaplan. He'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry about it, though. Today, I don't know where he's at, Browner, but we'll get into all that and what's happening in the world of sports, and not just sports, because we had that conversation too yesterday. Really funny reaction to everybody when I posted that. But we are brought to you by 7 Mile Casino. 7 Mile Casino is just minutes away from downtown San Diego with all of your favorite table games. Also, a Sammy's restaurant and bar with a full bar where you could find yourself an espresso or espresso martini, as some might say. And also where we will be May 4th, with John Browner, Jason Lawhead, Scott Kaplan, all grabbing a microphone at a certain point to say some jokes. As much as Browner doesn't want Scott to do it, I'm sure he will. That is May 4th, Thursday. May the 4th be with you. There is no Padres game that day. It is a Thursday night. The event should be started by 6 o'clock. We should start eating some food. I believe we're aiming for the entertainment portion of the night to begin by about 7:30, I think, John. I think that's what we're kind of looking for, maybe 8. But dinner will be served around 6 o'clock. Tickets are now on sale. Go to kaplanandcrew.com, click the events page, and you will see that the Venmo code is there, the QR code. It's the blue one. And if you're watching right now on YouTube, you see this flyer I have. That QR code takes you to the purchase page. Tickets are $75, but it includes dinner, tax, gratuity, and the comedy show. The drinks are not included. That's the only thing not included is drinks, alcoholic drinks, if you decide to get some. So go buy your tickets. There's still some limited available as far as I know. Browner, this is going to be a disaster because Scott refuses to give me a head count or a login. So I have no idea how many we've sold. And I know we're going to oversell. And then it's going to be chaos because that's just the way this place operates.
You already know. You already know he's going to oversell.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any person that knows him as well as you do, there's one thing you can count on. He will oversell.
I don't know what the holdup is or why he will not give me a login to see what and how many are being bought. I just don't listen. I mean, someone's got to do it. He's just getting text messages every time someone buys something, and he's just like, okay, cool. But ain't been. Remember, he started this last week. He started just texting us, "Hey, sold 2, sold 4, sold 2," and I'm like, do not do this.
Right.
This is not the way we're keeping track. And that's as far as we've advanced. So I have no idea how many tickets we've sold. I know that we had a total of about 48 or 50 to sell. Those already might be gone. I don't know, but I doubt they are because he would have said something. But tickets are available. I'm just going to keep saying that until otherwise told.
He will make sure it's all on your plate April 1st.
May 1st.
May 1st. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
May 1st. He will be like, hey, so I don't have any bandwidth for this. Can you just figure this out?
I'm going to say, you know what I'm going to say? For the first time.
You're not going to say no. No, you're not.
No, I have nothing to do with this event. I'm just showing up. I feel like I should almost buy a ticket for this event because I am not participating.
That's how little you plan on doing?
That's how little I am doing. I mean, I helped in the planning of it, but I have no participation in this whatsoever, and I love it. The comedy is not my game. I don't want to be nowhere near a stage. I support you guys in Lawhead. I think you guys are hilarious, and that's about where I stop with the comedy stuff.
Well,
yeah, May 1st that comes. I'm gonna say, nah, dog. I told you April 12th to give me a login. He's listening right now on his way to LA. Like, oh really? You're gonna say no?
You'll get a text.
Yeah, I'll get a text today. John, what's going on today, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I had a very interesting sports night last night. So
How so?
I don't know how to feel about what's happening with the Padres because we did this last year because it's early. Mm-hmm. But they're 2-7 in their last 9 games.
Yeah,
it's 2-7.
Mm-hmm.
They should have been able to outscore some of these people with the firepower that they have, minus Tatis up to this point in this season.
Mm-hmm.
They've played probably the toughest schedule. I know you can't really go to strength of schedule in the first 20 games, but
Well, I'm going to
they
later.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. So that worries me. I'm watching a game last night. I I think I need to see game 3, but I think the Clippers are better than the Suns. And I didn't think I would say that. Kawhi Leonard is proven to be an immovable force in this series. Russell Westbrook is pushing Kevin Durant around the court so much, and they're not calling any fouls for it. I don't know what the hell the referees are looking at with that. And then I wake up this morning to see Draymond Green suspended, and that was the biggest. I told you so. I
Well, they
saw
did
coming.
it. They did it in the middle of a game too. They didn't want
Right.
anybody to know that what they were doing. They did it in the
Nobody to talk
middle of a
about it.
game. Yep. Last year, let's go back to the Padres real quick because I know they are playing right now. They had a day game to wrap up their series against the Braves, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously, if you're watching, you know how it gets done. If you're listening on radio, I won't spoil the secret, but game hasn't really started yet for us. But last season, the Padres through 19 games. That's where we're at right now, right? 19 games.
Yep.
The Padres were 12-7. They went 10-7. They won on a 4-game win streak because they were playing the Reds and the Pirates. Before that, though, the Padres played the Giants, played the Braves, played the Dodgers. So they had a little tough schedule to begin the season as well. In years past, I've been mocked and ridiculed by my Dodger friends because the Padres notoriously always start really well. Even when they were a bad team, they would have a pretty decent April to give you a little hope. And they have a kind of okay May, and then by June you're like, okay, well, we can stop watching the Padres. This year it is very fascinating, Bronner, because the fact that they are 8-11, and like you said, they're 2-7 in their last 9, and their offense has looked absolutely putrid coming into today. I will preference everything I'm about to say about the Padres with coming into today, not including today. That's a shutout loss on Sunday to the Brewers, a
Mm-hmm.
shutout loss to the Braves on Monday, and a one-run dribbler of a run yesterday on Tuesday night. And they are facing some of the toughest schedule out there. And in fact, if believe it or not, I know we are 19 games into the season. They do have the hardest strength of schedule so far. They have played the toughest schedule in all of baseball. And here's some good news for you, Browner. What does that mean? They have the
It
second
can't stay hard this long.
they have the second easiest schedule remaining for the rest of the season. So, I mean, things can change. It's 19 games. Are we expecting the Dodgers to be below 500 come September? No. Are you
No.
expecting the Padres to be below 500 come September? No. Are you expecting the Diamondbacks to be in first place come September? No. But that's the ups and downs of a baseball season. 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
was anybody expecting the San Francisco Giants to win more than 100 games? No. So, I
No.
think that yes, it is incredibly frustrating to see Juan Soto and Manny Machado struggle the way they have as of late. And what I mean by that, Bronner, I made this up because the last 7 games, these are the guys that you expect to carry you all year long,
Yes.
especially
Yes.
when Tatis isn't here yet. Manny Machado in the last 7 games is hitting 185 with 2 RBIs and an on-base percentage of 241. Juan Soto's hitting 143 with 3 RBIs. That is 5 runs in 7 games provided by your 2 best hitters that you currently have right now, or at least 2 that you were expecting. Xander Bogaerts is doing his thing. But
Right.
this
He's been
this whole
fantastic.
as a team, as a unit, they're bad. I'm just gonna drop all the content on you right away. Why not? This is how the Padres have performed coming into today. Batting average. They are 27th worst in all of baseball, 224. Their on base percentage of 309 is 21st in all of baseball. They've scored the 23rd most runs in all of baseball. They do have the 8th most home runs, so the power's been there, but that's about it. And they've struck out the 8th most times in all of baseball. So, is this the low point of the season? I keep seeing that online. This has got to be the low point of the season. You got whatever happened today, and then tomorrow you get the biggest boost of all time, and you get Fernando Tatis back.
I think the largest struggle, and they roll into Arizona to play the first place Diamondbacks.
Right.
I think the largest part of this that is causing people a little bit of heartburn is how bad Soto has been with the anticipation of him being an MVP. I'm not talking about just today's game. I'm talking about the season as a whole, and and quite frankly, his performance as a Padre. Now, if we're looking at this from a standpoint of, okay, Tatis is coming back, this is going to fix some things, but his career isn't long enough for us to know if he's a slow starter or not. He hadn't played long enough. We don't know that to be true or know that to be false. We've got a track record on Manny. We know he's a slow starter. He usually comes around. According to Soto's numbers up to this point, he appears to be a slow starter too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at this, and the reason why I only have real panic for Soto, because after hearing him say the pitch clock is in my head,
yeah,
that's a problem. That's a problem, and a player so great, you wouldn't think it would alter him for such a chunk of time, but it has.
yeah. I mean, he's at 63 at bats already. That's more than probably he would have gotten in spring training. So the adjustment should be, as close. It's going to take some time, I guess, to fine tune the way he adjusts. But yeah, I think.
But there was no. But there was. And I'm not blaming this on that. I'm not blaming. I want to be very clear what I'm not doing. I'm not blaming this on the other thing. But there was no pitch clock in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
And these guys were playing in the World
Dominican
Baseball
Republic,
Classic.
Dominican Republic severely underperformed there too, and that's where Manny Machado and Juan Soto were. I'm not saying that they struggled they did well, but as a team, those two guys they got bounced way earlier than people thought. They were favorites to win the whole thing.
But your juices are flowing. Your competition, your intensity is peaking in a tournament like that because guys were giving it so much. And now you ratchet down a bit. You go back to spring training. Here's this pitch clock again. So you were never able to get fully adjusted during training camp, during spring training to the pitch clock because a chunk of it you spent at the World Baseball Classic. And now you come back to the spring training, and it's pretty much wrapping up. You go into the season, and here you are with this pitch clock, this entirely new dynamic that goes against everything you do as a hitter. And so you're struggling.
Yeah, but I think that I understand that we always want to keep pointing the finger at Soto because it's accumulation of what he hasn't done since he's been here. It's a frustrating thing that's been carried over
from last year.
From last year. I mean, if you look at his stats as a Padre, I didn't make a graphic about it, but I could just pull it up real quick. During his career here as a Padre in 71 games, he has a batting average of 220 and 9 home runs, 9 home runs, and 24 RBIs. That's almost half a season. That's almost a full half season as a San Diego Padre. And it's just been really frustrating. I do think, though, that I'm getting the vibe from the comments. Well, it's also the questions. Players can't help what they're being asked.
Correct.
But the comments, they almost all are just anticipating a Tatis return. Like, oh, don't worry. When Tatis, this is the vibe I'm genuinely getting. Like, when Tatis comes back, we're going to be all right. Because, Browner, if you take a look at what they've gotten in right field, whether it be Matt Carpenter, Azokar, Dixon, or Dahl, or Odor, not one of those guys, I mean, Azokar is. Everybody else is hitting, like, below 180. They've gotten absolutely nothing out of that position. They've gotten nothing out of their catcher position. They've gotten very, very little out of left field. And, I mean, if you look around, the only one that's really performing up to the standard that you want them to is one guy. One. And that's Xander Bogaerts. And in baseball, you ain't winning. Ask Joey Votto how many games you're going to win with one player on your team.
Or your favorite poster guy, Ohtani.
Yeah. And he's got 2.
I would look at it from this standpoint. If you were telling me that it feels like to you they're waiting for Tatis to return for the full momentum of this team to start moving forward, I would tell you I'm very worried about that. Because what we know through Tatis's brief history, you cannot really count on him because he will either get hurt or he will do something foolish because he's young, he's rich, and he's famous. So I don't like hearing that. That doesn't give me comfort to say that they're thinking, or there may be a feeling in that clubhouse by the way that guys are addressing questions that, once he comes back that there's going to be this rush of offense. Like they're getting beat 10 to something. They're losing 1-0, 2-0. Like they're
They're
losing every
making
way you can.
they're making almost every pitcher they face look like a possible Cy Young winner right now. That's how bad it's been.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So
Yeah.
I one like you said, one guy can't win a game in baseball, and one guy can't fix all your problems in baseball. This isn't a quarterback coming back where now the offense is going to pick up and move
Right.
different.
This isn't
basketball.
going from who was it? Patrick Mahomes. I can't even say Chad Henne because he was actually decent for that one
Yeah, I
series.
mean,
But you know what I
he
mean?
was
This is like
solid.
going. They just signed Blaine Gabbert. How about that? This is like if
Correct.
Mahomes' ankle didn't heal and they go to Blaine Gabbert. You know, like I understand that in the NFL is the comparison can't be there for baseball.
Cannot.
But I do think it's a mood booster as much like I think Browner, and tell me if I'm wrong. I get because you speak the way a lot of fans speak, but I kind of understand the human element of the pitch clock is messing with my head. Like I understand the human element of being in that clubhouse and just keep everyone's asking you about Tatis, and you're like, yeah, I mean, yeah, look what's happening in right field and look what he's been doing in AAA. Yeah, we're gonna be better. I mean, there's got to be a feeling of incompletion in that clubhouse because Joe Musgrove hasn't made a start yet. You know, Robert Suarez is nowhere near return, and he's supposed to be like that centerpiece that Chris Mack keeps screwing up. You know, he's supposed to
Oh,
kind of be in
Chris
that
Mack.
he's kind of Robert Suarez is the guy that can put some stop to the bleeding in the bullpen. Him and Wilson are kind of those two guys you go to, and he's not been around. And now, like all of a sudden, Campusano's on the IL already. Nola's giving you nothing. So I understand the names. You see the names, but I also understand the human element of what a baseball season and what a professional athlete has to go through every single day. And it's just a slow start. That's the way I look at it. It's just a slow start.
When is
I'm
it not?
not.
When is it not?
It's got like June. Like honestly, if they're 3 games below 500, if they start floating around 500 and they're 4 or 5 games below 500 in June, yeah, questions are gonna start getting harder and harder. Manny Machado is gonna start getting asked those about those bandwagon fans and what's up with you now, dude? Why are you still struggling? I think in baseball we've seen this before, man. Like the Padres in May last year, I think they were like 22-10 at some point. So it's and then they didn't finish that well. So I think that Browner, you're the one that's been telling me for 2 years there's ups and downs in baseball. We've just only experienced the down so far, but nobody was panicking when they went 3 or 4 against the Braves in Atlanta.
Correct.
So I just think
Correct.
this is the ups and downs of a baseball season. It just I think the hype and it's something that we're all dealing with. It's something that it's all new to everybody here.
There you go. There
The
you go.
Let's not forget the Dodgers are below 500. The Dodgers are playing Mookie Betts at shortstop because they have no healthy shortstops, and the ones they do have stink. So it's not all rainbows and sunshine everywhere else in baseball. Like I just think
But
that its expectations were not met in April, and it's April 19th. There's still 11 days to figure it out in this
I just
month of April.
I just don't think you should look around the room and go, they're not doing well either. So it's okay for us to not be doing well.
No, I'm
Because
saying it as an example of listen, like it's not like everyone is 10 games above 500 in front of you right now. That's just the
true.
way
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm not telling like I know Mookie didn't play shortstop today, but the report is that they're talking about moving Mookie Betts to shortstop because they have so many injuries. And then the guys they did bring in to replace Trey Turner, which they didn't really bring anybody in to replace Trey Turner, he stinks. So I just wanted to make a point that even the Dodgers, who are still, by the way, favored to win the division, are still not above 500. And they're still not like these world beaters at this moment. And guess what? You think in LA they're like full on panic mode?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I do. I do. Because they've got listen, man, LA's got some terrible fans. They got some jumpers. They
Yeah.
got some people who see things going bad and go, "Oh, why did we sign Trey Turner?" Because they've got so much money, they're so used to signing everybody.
Yeah.
You start letting good players go, and now that the LA fans looking around going, "Hey, I'm just gonna watch something else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
go
I
cheer for
mean,
something else."
that's what happens when you have a hyped team. You get people like all those people that cared about San Diego State making the Final Four. Do you think any of them are paying attention to the transfer portal right now?
No.
That's just fandom.
Right.
That's just fandom. And the better you are, the more bandwagon fans there's going to be.
And that's what's happened to the Padres this year. They were predicted to be so great and so solid. They got so many frontline guys on this team now. When you're not good the first 20, 25, 30 games, people come after you. Yep. This is what expectations create.
Right. And I think that in San Diego, it's new. And for some players in that clubhouse, it's new. I don't think a lot of them. I mean, Soto's won a World Series. Xander's won World Series. Yu Darvish been in a bunch of World Series. So I just think that there's Nelson Cruz has been on contenders. So I think that there's real expectations, and we're just we're learning how to live with it. How about that? When we come back, let's talk about the NBA. Let's talk about some major things happening in the world of the NFL. And I got to ask Browner a real life question because something went viral that I need to get his take on. This is Kaplan and Crew. Go to kaplanandcrew.com to get your 7 Mile Casino dinner tickets. We'll be right back.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YurView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
An ADU is accessory dwelling unit, and it's become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
This is the Rugby Odds, where an unlikely pundit panel of a wordsmith, a WWE legend, a rugby star, and a supermodel scour the globe, seeking best bets and bad behavior. Are you not entertained?
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray Lambert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylambert.com for your consultation.
The #1 disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermat.com and check out all the educational content, and of course check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YurView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Listen to The Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and themightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
After an accident, you could be faced with a maze of confusion. There are medical bills, lost time at work, not to mention taking on the big insurance companies alone. But with the Barnes firm on your side, they can help you get compensated for your troubles. And they'll help you get the best result possible. Call the Barnes firm now at 1-800-8-MILLION for a free consultation.
The number one disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content, and of course check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need. Service dogs can range anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000, $40,000. And for someone getting out of the military that's seeking support and help, having that sort of price tag is daunting. So we really wanted to be able to support the veterans to make sure that they're getting a dog that they need in their life at no charge.
I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us. So I found Shelter the Soldier online, and I reached out, and somebody contacted me within 24 hours. And in the next couple of weeks, I was already in the program meeting dogs.
YurView Community Spotlight is brought to you by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Flood.
An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit, and it's become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
For many consumers, sleeping at night should be an easy experience. For many, it's not. There are a number of reasons for that. Most notably, those that suffer from acid reflux or heartburn. There are also many individuals dealing with various pains or ailments. Medcline is a sleep solution company with our goal to allow people to have a healthy and peaceful night's sleep. And we do that with our therapeutic side sleeping systems. Our patented, clinically studied Medcline relief systems are designed to place an adult in an elevated side sleeping position, which can help them reduce the symptoms or issues they're dealing with. Medcline systems are registered with the FDA, and as a medical product, Medcline systems are qualified for use with FSA and HSA funds. For anyone looking for more information, you can visit medcline.com/sleepbetter.
Since 1971, the LGBTQ Center OC has been a pillar of the Orange County community, proudly empowering and advocating for the queer individuals and families who need our support. We've sustained a safe space for the community for more than 50 years and continue to grow the wealth of resources that the people of Orange County rely on. It's true that it gets better. Until it does, the LGBTQ Center OC is here, and we've got you.
The San Diego Children's Discovery Museum is a children's museum that serves San Diego County. Our area of focus is children between the ages of 0 to 10, but primarily 0 to about the ages of 7. We teach children in an informal, experience-based environment, specifically foundational fluencies, social emotional learning, and purposeful play.
We started PNC Grow Up Great in 2004. It is now a $500 million bilingual early education program, all focused on reaching young children from birth to age 5, with a particular emphasis on reaching low and moderate income children to help prepare them for school and life.
And we've been looking for partners, and that's how we got to the San Diego Children's Museum. They specifically have a new mobile unit where they bring STEM-related educational services to kids that can't make it to the museum.
We both believe in bringing innovative platforms of learning to children all over the county.
I think I'm going to build the castle.
An ADU is accessory dwelling unit, and it's become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
Learn about the many health benefits of MedCline pillows, from easing shoulder pain, reflux relief, and just getting a great night of sleep. Watch Your Health only on YurView, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
The #1 disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
From New York City comes America's longest running and most popular rugby show. The biggest names in Major League Rugby, MLR highlights, and big match previews. Rugby Wrap-Up presents MLR Weekly, made in New York City.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Kaplan and Crew with just the crew. Myself, Alex Padilla, at Alex Padilla 86 on Twitter, and John Browner at Browner's Podcast on Twitter. We are brought to you by iThrive MD. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. Click that I Thrive logo so you can learn all about I Thrive Lean. I Thrive Lean. Call them 858-240-1497. 858-240-1497. You too could be on I Thrive Lean. I've been on it since the beginning of October, I believe, is when I started. And as of this morning, it's the number is now 49, John. That is where the number stands as of today. So almost on the big 5-0. Go check it out, everybody. kaplanandcrew.com. Click that I Thrive logo so you can learn more about I Thrive Lean. 858-240-1497. I took my injection today, and I don't know what I did, but it pinched a little bit, and I've never really felt that. I was like, ooh, that one felt like a little sting. Like a little. I think
You know what you're doing?
I didn't put it on the fatty part of my leg, I guess, or something. But
You're getting complacent.
I guess
That's what you're doing.
I
You're
went in too
complacent.
confident, man. You know, I went in
Yeah.
grabbed that thing in there. Yeah, and normally it's just like a quick thing, but either way, yeah. So go check it out. Anyways, John, we were talking about the Padres and their struggles offensively, and I mean, dude, even yesterday I saw our old coworker Marty Caswell interviewing Xander Bogaerts, who's never played with Fernando Tatis ever. By the way, neither is Juan Soto. So it's going to be a really interesting thing to see. Like Nelson Cruz has never been teammates with Fernando Tatis Jr. Juan Soto's never been teammates with him. Xander Bogaerts never been teammates with him. So all these guys being asked about Tatis, they don't know. They've seen him on TV like us. They've seen him as an opponent more than never as a teammate. But yeah, like I said, everybody's being asked about it. Marty asked Xander about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I've only seen it from afar, but I mean, it's gonna be good, right?" I mean, you see what he's doing down in AAA. Like, yeah, it's gonna be good. So
what is he supposed to say?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the guy, and I think it's not a storyline, and I don't think it's going to be a storyline. But you remember like Mike Clevenger said, like, he messed up. We don't need him. We got guys in here.
What team's he on now?
No, he's on the White Sox now. But I don't remember specifically, and I guess I could look it up because tomorrow will probably be just like Tatis Day in San Diego, even though they're not in San Diego. Are we just like, is that all we're talking about tomorrow? The return of the prodigal son, Fernando Tatis Jr. Because I'm trying to remember what Manny and like Joe. I mean, obviously nobody said anything as, I guess, ignited as Clevenger did. I mean, they were all disappointed. But I wonder if that will be a storyline going forward. Has his relationships already been mended? Like it's not even a story, or is there still like some built up frustration from teammates last season that are holding it over his head? Like, yo, dude, you done messed up. You need to prove it to me that you're in this and you're not going to do it again.
I think that the teammates who knew they would be here when he got back,
were
very tender with their criticism publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Privately, who knows? I hope they were a little more hard on him privately because that's fair. But publicly, the people who were super hard on him aren't on a team anymore. So I think the guys who knew they would be back, knew they would need him, and know how good he is and how good he is for the team and the city and the organization. So they addressed the situation with friend gloves on.
Yeah, and
like
then you see
the way
like
Musgrove did.
Right. And then you see the videos, and Tatis is part of the team. He obviously has to leave at a certain point because he is still suspended. But you see the pregame warm-ups of him warming up, taking batting practice. He's cage side laughing with Machado. He's stretching right next to Soto and Machado. So I don't think it's a storyline, but I just am curious if it's out there, if it will be out there. I mean,
let me just help people with this particular type of confusion. These guys move on.
Yeah.
They're hired mercenaries. None of them are. Joe Musgrove is from here, so when he does something, it really feels different because he feels like he's doing it for the city. But they didn't draft him. They signed him from somewhere else where he was doing this for a different team. So it means more to him. So it means more to the fan base when Joe Musgrove does something. There's extra pride involved in it.
Yeah.
But the rest of these guys, they're hired mercenaries. They do this because they're paid handsomely.
Right.
That's it.
But 4, 5, 6 of them are here, in theory, for the rest of their career.
Right. And so, therefore, those 4, 5, 6 guys, they're all going to be here. So I don't want no friction with this dude because we're going to be together for a long time. So the continuity on this team needs to be known. Now, will they adapt to each other's like personal, things that you just don't like about another person? Can you get past them? Yeah, they're going to have to.
Yeah.
But when it comes to guys just like getting along and standing next to each other, chatting and laughing about something, these guys move on. They've probably all been out on vacation together after this. They've been out to a bar or drinks or had a party at their house where everyone was invited. These guys get past this kind of stuff. They didn't have a physical altercation. Nobody punched anybody.
As far as
which, by the way, they get over quickly that too, because alpha dudes have alpha dude issues.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as guys not getting along because of what happened last season, that is in their rearview mirror. Now, it's the repeated acts that will cause issues, not the one-offs. This was a one-off.
Well,
and if he does this again, the steroid portion.
Oh, the steroid portion. Got it.
That's a one-off. The youth and stupidity,
We
by
hope.
the way, which they all were. Machado was young and dumb at one point, and he had people saying, "Hey, man, what's up with you spiking people at first base?" Like, he's had issues too.
He wasn't even
about
that young when he did that.
Growing up, he'll probably do it again. Growing up in baseball, growing up in the public eye, growing up being a front-facing person for a franchise, you have to deal with a lot. And so I think these guys have a soft spot for him because he's so young and he got so much so fast that they're more protective of him and trying to teach him the right ways than they are of chastising him and coming down on him because they think he just doesn't get it.
Yeah. I wish, I just wish that Tatis's first game was in San Diego, because in my head, I'm gonna drop.
I'm glad it's not. I'm glad
I'm
it's
gonna
not.
drop only from a visual perspective of what I'm about to tell you. So I remember back when I was like kid-ish, 12, 13. I was a big WWF fan. I don't know if you were, Browner, but I watched both WCW and WWF, and I remember in WCW, Chris Jericho was legit, right? He was like, do you know the name Chris Jericho?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Chris
So
Jericho.
Chris Jericho was like a legit WCW like champion, and then you would switch over to like Monday Night Raw, and at the same time where Chris Jericho stopped appearing on WCW, there was like this like random countdown, like with this like really intense like like 10, 9, and then it would go to 0 and nothing would happen. And then one day at a Monday Night Raw, this countdown comes on, and all of a sudden fireworks go off and Chris Jericho comes out. That's what I'm picturing at Petco Park. Like his first at bat, countdown, boom, boom, and then Break the Walls Down comes out, and Tatis comes out and he saves the day, and the Padres don't lose another game for the rest of the year.
Look, man.
143-0.
Come on, man. Listen, man. The best thing that we can hope for is that he gives the team that energy and flair that made him famous.
Yeah.
He comes in and he provides that juice. No pun intended.
Whoa. Hey now.
Okay, correction. New word. He gives the team the jolt.
Yeah.
That they offensively that they seem to be lacking.
Okay.
And that can kind of, wake a couple guys up. But I don't think it will.
Yeah.
I think Manny will still be slow for a couple of weeks. I think Tatis I think Soto will probably struggle for another month because I think it's going to take him a long time to get adjusted to this pitch clock. He's going to have to change the way he thinks.
You know what is absolutely wild about Tatis coming back when he is coming back is that by the time he makes his debut at Petco again, we could already be talking about Tatis being off to a super slow start too. We could already be. There's 9 games and 11 days before Tatis ever steps in a box at Petco Park. Tatis will not be like, who knows what could happen in 9 games and 11 days with a trip to Mexico thrown in there. Like, who knows what could happen? And by the way, May 1st against the Reds might be the most packed game ever at Petco. If he's like, what if he's hitting 500 with 6 home runs in the first?
And
9 games?
They've won 9 in a row.
They've won 9 in a row. What if they went out and swept the Diamondbacks and the Cubs and the Giants in Mexico? He comes back here May 1st. Boom, let's go. So who knows what could happen by the time he steps foot in that batter's box at Petco Park. Who knows what Tatis will be when that happens?
Hey man, listen, I'm glad he's doing it on the road because that's what the injection of pure anger and hatred from
Yeah.
the fans
Yeah.
is. I think they need to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
They
And
legit need to get that out of the way as soon as possible. In a 9-game road trip for
Yeah.
him to start his way back is perfect, because what it also would allow them to do, it allows them to circle up amongst each other and build chemistry as it's us against everybody else, because he's going to hear it. And the fact now that he's in right field, he's going to hear
and
it.
guess where he's going after he leaves Arizona? Have fun with the bleacher creatures in Chicago.
Again.
Yeah.
They're racist too, by the way.
I went to the Chicago last year, and we got all the we had a really dope tour guide, and he was like, dude, it's brutal out here, man. Like it wasn't part of the tour. He was kind of just speaking off terms.
Right.
Dude, what Tatis will experience in Chicago will be probably
it would be bad.
I don't know if it'll be as bad as right field in Dodger Stadium. Like they're gonna throw stuff at him.
It will be equal. Well, I take that back.
I think
there'll
be more personal venom coming from LA. Personal venom coming from LA.
The Dodgers are the ones. You might get some Dodger fans to throw a air-filled syringe on the field. Like you might get that in LA, but Chicago and LA, the vitriol, the pure hatred, for what he has done, that will be equal.
I think in Chicago, and listen, you can speak about it more than I can, but I think in Chicago, it's just a general let's talk trash about Tatis and his steroid thing. Whereas in LA, I think there'll be a lot more FUs and a lot more personal insults and a lot more there's more venom that will happen May 12th. I'm just looking. May 12th will be the first time in LA for the Padres. And as someone who had a father who was a diehard Dodger fan, like I'm telling you, when he passed, we put a Dodger hat in his casket. That's how big of a Dodger fan my dad was. Even he wouldn't sit in the outfield because he knows how wild it was for a kid to be out there. So what will happen with Tatis on the road this year will be a story that I'm sure we're going to get stuff throughout the year of things that have happened. But what happens in Chicago will be a small sample of what will happen in Los Angeles.
Right.
And in right field, there really is no right field seats in San Francisco. So that's kind of like chill.
You're safe there. You're safe there.
There's not really seats. There is, but there isn't. You're kind of far. They're kind of high.
Right.
Dodger Stadium, they're right on top of you, man. In Chicago, they're right on top of you.
Right. So like I said, this is the best thing for him, is to get out there and for them to get this over with on the road. And I think this will give them an tip or a step forward in building cohesion with each other and making it a us thing against them thing. And that might get the ball rolling, and that might get a bunch of guys out of this early slump that they're in, because having him back and everybody having a band together because the world is now screaming at this guy in right field any obscenity they can think of about steroids.
Yeah, and it's going to be really funny too, because I mean, we had this discussion. What was it, like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago?
They might throw like mini motorcycles. Ain't no telling.
When the minor league pitcher, I already forgot his name, called him a steroid cheater who's suspended. And even in Sacramento, they were calling him a cheater. There were chants of cheater. That's in Sacramento at a AAA game. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in Arizona. I don't. I can't. I know that there's a pool out there, so there may not be that many fans out there. I know it's kind of like a lounge area.
They're in first place, and they got this guy coming into their building. I'll give Phoenix fans credit for this. They're aware. They may not be great, but they're aware. So they will be in the building. They'll be in the building. They know. I know some people in Arizona.
You know what?
They are aware of what's happening.
I'm texting. I have a cousin that lives in Phoenix. I'm asking him if he's going to go to the game tomorrow. And I honestly might buy him a ticket in right field and be our scout. I think that would be a good to see. I want my cousin to sit in right field.
Solid video.
And just tell me what happens.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm literally texting him right now. If I buy you a ticket, will you sit in right field?
Yeah. Because it's gonna be aggressive. Because they're the first ones. They're right out of the chute. So
Right.
they gotta set the standard. They gotta
Yeah.
show him, hey man, you're a cheater, and we're gonna give it to you. And once they're done with the 9-game road trip, his ovation at Petco will be like nothing
Yeah.
you have heard, because it would have been so bad on the road. Home, people will be like, yo, man, this guy we got to go support this dude, man. Yeah, we were mad when it happened, but we got to pack that building and we got to let him feel the love, man, because woo!
Yeah, you're right. And we had that discussion last year, but I think, I don't even know what I really genuinely don't remember what I said. I did think that there would be some people that
Then
aren't
we did.
full board cheering on. But I do think that you're right now. I think that there's a standing ovation when he first stepped out of
Yes.
Petco Park.
Yes. If game 1 of the season he would have been available, I think he still would have heard some negativity from the home crowd. But because he's on the road, again, this is why it's good, because he's on the road first, and he's going to get blasted. By the time he comes home, he will have earned his standing ovation by what he had to put up with on a 9-game road trip and standing in right field and just hearing it. Because every day it will be somebody new in right field coming up with something better and bigger.
I just found 2 seats in right field for $74 total.
Yikes, man.
I just text my cousin. I was like, I will buy you these seats if you go, but you have to send me nonstop videos. I need videos nonstop. Okay. We'll see what happens. I wish I could just like go out there myself. I would be so fascinated to just sit there and just pretend to be a neutral, right? To not even be involved in it and just to see, because I don't think Arizona fans even know that baseball started yet. If I had to guess, that I think if you ask Phoenix fans, hey, how are the Diamondbacks doing this year? I don't think many of them would tell you, oh yeah, we're doing great. Like 11-7, first place, right? I don't know if that's the case out there, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. And they haven't even had a home game. They haven't had a home game in a while. So
Diamondbacks?
They're on the road right now in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And their last home game, their last home game, Browner, was April 12th. It was a day game, so I'll give them that. April 12th, 12:40 start. What is it? Was that that was a Wednesday? That had to be a Wednesday. Yeah, April 12th. A 12:40 start against the Milwaukee Brewers. The Diamondbacks had a 27% announced attendance of 13,000 people.
Oh, they're gonna beat that. Because they're coming back in first place.
They're coming back in first place.
With this event happening. I'm telling you, they're aware that this event, I'm predicting a good solid 20,000.
The night before, Tuesday night, excuse me, a night game was 35% attendance of 17,000 people. They've been on the road since. They've been on the road since. So I don't know if the expectations have changed. They lost 2 of 3 in Miami. They've won 2 of so far against the Cardinals.
50%. I'm predicting 50% attendance. Right field will be sold out. Sold out. No seats in right field. Because they want them to hear him. Let them hear us.
Yeah, so we'll see. We shall see what happens with Fernando Tatis and his return tomorrow. I don't think I've ever been so excited for a game on a Thursday in April in Arizona. That's for damn sure. That is a fact. I've never been as excited for it as I will be tomorrow. That happens tomorrow. And by the way, Joe Musgrove starts on Saturday, so he's back. Those are good boosts right there, Brown.
Dude, really, really, really good boosts coming at a time when it appears that they actually need it.
What's wild though, it really hasn't. Blake wasn't terrible yesterday. No, he lost, but everybody.
No, he wasn't terrible, but
he went 5.
You gotta start getting through these starts, man, with less runs given up, and he did that yesterday, and so kudos to him. But we gotta, the pen. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I said yesterday the pen's been good. Well, then Krismack came out, then Reese Neer came out and just gave up some bombs at the end of that game. So we shall see. I just texted him. Oh. Anyways, I will keep you guys posted. I'll keep you all posted. We are brought to you by iThrive MD. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. click on that I Thrive logo to learn about I Thrive Lean. 858-240-1497. 858-240-1497. I Thrive MD. I Thrive Lean. I've been on it for a few months. I am down almost 50, and that could be you too. You probably don't need to be on it as long as I have. I just had a lot to go. So you can do a lot of work in the first 3 months. The first 3 months for the Great Friends is just $2.99. $2.99 for 3 months. You can get a lot of work done in that time. I Thrive MD. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. Click that I Thrive logo to learn more about I Thrive Lean. Lots happening. Lakers playing here shortly, Browner. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the big news coming out the NBA. Suspended. Next, Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YurView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit murraylampert.com.
Welcome to the Super Dentist, where kids are the center of our universe. Serving San Diego for over 25 years, the Super Dentists offer the newest dental technologies to provide safe and comfortable treatments for the entire family. We've reimagined the entire dental experience by creating a fun and engaging atmosphere featuring our heroic dentists and award-winning super crew. Book your appointment now. Extended hours and Saturday appointments available. Call or text 855-GO-SUPER or visit thesuperdentist.com.
I was injured in a car crash. I had no idea how much my case was worth. I called the Barnes firm.
When the truck hit my son, I had so many questions about his case. I called the Barnes firm. It was the best call I could have made.
Your case is often worth more than insurance offers. Call the Barnes firm to find out what your case could be worth. We will help you get the best result possible.
The Barnes firm. Injury attorneys. Call 1-800-8-million.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
For many consumers, sleeping at night should be an easy experience. For many, it's not. There are a number of reasons for that, most notably those that suffer from acid reflux or heartburn. There are also many individuals dealing with various pains or ailments. MedCline is a sleep solution company with our goal to allow people to have a healthy and peaceful night's sleep. And we do that with our therapeutic side sleeping systems. Our patented, clinically studied MedCline relief systems are designed to place an adult in an elevated side sleeping position, which can help them reduce the symptoms or issues they're dealing with. MedCline systems are registered with the FDA, and as a medical product, MedCline systems are qualified for use with FSA and HSA funds. For anyone looking for more information, you can visit medcline.com/sleepbetter.
Welcome to the Super Dentist, where kids are the center of our universe. Serving San Diego for over 25 years, the Super Dentists offer the newest dental technologies to provide safe and comfortable treatments for the entire family. We've reimagined the entire dental experience by creating a fun and engaging atmosphere featuring our heroic dentists and award-winning super crew. Book your appointment now. Extended hours and Saturday appointments available. Call or text 855-GO-SUPER or visit thesuperdentist.com.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.